And I started thinking about something that my dad told me as a kid. And he would enforce this all the time. Every time I started doing something new or started perfecting a skill or was getting involved in a new activity or anything, he would always say, "That's good. You need to be well-rounded." And as my nephew grew up and he got into things, he was like, yes, he's going to be well-rounded. He's going to be well-rounded. And then now that I'm raising my son and how I have him doing different things, like Jonah loves to play the drums, and we had him in soccer, and then now he's in swim lessons. And when I started talking about all that stuff with my dad, he said he's going to be well-rounded. So with him being the oldest man in my dad council, I take heed to the information or the advice that he's giving me. So evidently he feels like it's very important for your child or for us to be well-rounded. I do feel like my dad made emphasis. He wanted us to play sports growing up. He wanted us to be in extracurricular activities growing up. He wanted us to be into our books, but he wanted us to also like be musicians. My dad was big into that. We were, active in the church and always did things in the community. He always wanted us to stay active doing something and in a way giving back to the community as well. And I never really understood why he wanted us to be so active, but when I got to college, I kind of understood, because you have to have certain amount of experiences and be around different types of people. That way, when you get to college, you know how to have a conversation with somebody. You know how to get along with other people, even though they may be different from you. It's a lot of things that you learn there that only can be taught through our experiences. So I have made, I put a big emphasis on doing that with my son because I didn't want him to be unprepared for anything. Me and my wife, my wife and I, we've always talked about how when he gets older, dads, you want your son to play sports or whatever. And I played sports in high school and played a little in college. And I always wanted him to play sports. But me and my wife have had the conversation as well that what if he decides that he doesn't want to play sports? And I'm fine with that. But we both came to an agreement that said, hey, if he's not in sports, then he's going to have to do something. You're not going to go to school and then just come home. You're going to get in the band. You're going to get in the chess club. You're going to get into, something else. You're going to have to do something after school, something, maybe even karate or something like that. You're going to have to be involved in something because we want him to be well-rounded. And I feel like, and even going back to the college conversation, sometimes you have kids that they focus on academics all through high school and they are just A1 academic all-stars, right? And then when they get to college, sometimes you might see where they don't get into a particular school. But see, the key is on that application, you have to put down all your extracurricular activities. What were you involved in? Why do they want
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Why do they want to know about those extracurricular activities? Because it makes you makes you a more whole person. Okay?
Right.
You can interact, you'll bring more value to the college. You're not just going to go to class and then go back to your room. You're going to be involved. You're going to do because college is more than just going to school taking classes. You have different groups there at school that people want to get involved in, and they have to have people in those programs, in those clubs to keep. It's the whole presentation of college. If you don't have those outside, those extracurricular or things outside of academics, it wouldn't be so attractive for people to come. Okay,
right.
You gotta get out and meet people and stuff like that. They want more people like that in college. So, and then when I got to my job, I understood you need to be well-rounded. I need to be able to talk about more things than just sports. I need to be able to talk about more things than just things on the job. And having a diverse background, you bring a whole lot to the table. If you got one person that you're trying to hire for a job or whatever, and you got one person where they had straight A's, they went to college, they had straight A's in college, and they've been around one type of people their entire life. And then you have another kid that he got all B's in college, all B's in high school, and he has experiences with so many different types of people and been in so many different types of groups. I'm like, he's somebody we want to bring in here because we don't have just one kind of person here at this facility. We have all different types of people here. And you would be able to fit in better because we have a diverse population here. And you will be able to be integrated into that a whole lot more easily than somebody that's maybe in their shell. So that's kind of what I thought about that. But I know you got some things that you can talk about and add to the conversation.
Yeah, so you touched on like a whole lot of what I was going to say. And, when you first started talking about with your dad, talking about being well-rounded, what I had kind of written down was I had always called it just being diverse in thought, being diverse in experiences. And that's so true that, my parents taught me the same thing. And it's something that, I've definitely put into my kids as well. Both my kids, they do well in school academically. And then, they also have done things with Taekwondo, and then they're also, both of them play sports in high school. Both of them, well, my son, he's not in high school yet, but I'm sure he'll end up probably playing some type of sport in high school, but he plays sports now. And, just having that diversity of experiences, and that way you're getting to learn and meet people from all different walks of life, all different types of background, being able to relate to people on multiple levels, in like your own bubble of people, that you live around with, or only people that you go to church with, or whatever the case may be, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just going to bring up the same thing that you said as far as with school, with colleges. One of the things that, definitely they have on the application, the school wants to know, the university wants to know, what else do you do? I mean, okay, it's great if you had a 4.0 GPA or 5.0 GPA or whatever, that's great. But, what kind of clubs were you in high school? What extracurricular activities were you in high school? What other interests do you have? Because ultimately that college, that university, it's a business, right? And so they're looking for ambassadors to go into the workforce, to go into the real world and represent that college.
Excellent.
And so when you're in the workforce, when you're just kind of, wherever you are, and those conversations come up, oh, where did you go to school? They want well-rounded people, diverse people from different backgrounds that speak well and all these different things to be able to say, oh, I went to this university, or I went to this college. So then that inspires someone to say, oh yeah, that college over there, they produce, not just academically, but, athletically and just from a humanity standpoint, so, they don't want, that college does not want you to put all your eggs into the one academic bag, right? They want you to be well-rounded. And even think about it, we're talking about don't put your eggs in one basket, right? I say that also with, applying for colleges. Did you apply to just one college, or did you apply to a couple colleges?
Yeah.
Why didn't you apply to just one college? Why? Because anything can happen, right? You saw a plethora of colleges that you were interested in. You didn't just say, now I know some people who they only apply to one school because it was their dream school and it was that or nothing. But I know that it was against what their parents wanted them to do, you know, and their parents wanted them to kind of apply to this school, apply to that school, apply to that school, and then make your decision based on that. But if you put all your eggs in that one basket, what if that one college says no?
Yeah.
What do you do then, right?